Okay. Yeah, good to go. Okay. A very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. A very warm welcome to our other Saga series. A quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading, more reading, and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, Pick a Book marks its inspired presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,000 plus readers, 18 regions, and 70,000 plus people inspired through our sessions, all in a just span of 1 year. Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe. Pick a Book has come up with a new initiative, a brand of its own called Authors Saga Series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss the key insights of the books, and readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the book from the author himself. Uh, Today we have with us Mr. Sandeep Kaul, the author of account Billing Accountability Clock. Okay, Sandeep Kaul is an executive coach. He's a consultant and works in the field of leadership development. He brings 24 years of experience, out of which 16 years is holding executive roles in BFSI and 8 years of an executive coach. Coaching since 2012, he has done 1620 plus coaching hours with corporate clients, impacted 29,100 plus participants across 60 plus corporate. He's an author of Accountability Clock, and it's a guide to building accountability culture at workplace. This is probably India's first book on accountability and ownership. So Sandeep is an MBA graduate from Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. He has done 193 hours of ICF certified coaching training with Versant Coaching Leadership International, CLI Canada. And he's personally trained by Tim Galway in the inner game coaching methodology. Empaneled mentor with Charlie Blair Foundation for coaching women entrepreneurs globally. A very warm welcome, Mr. Sandeep Kaul.
Thanks, Swana. Good evening to you and good evening, everyone in the audience. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight, Mr. Sandeep. And first of all, we everybody from Pick a Book and from our lovely audience, we wish you a very, congratulations on your first book, and we wish you a long way in writing.
Thanks very much. I think, Swana, it's every author, they need readers and listeners. So thanks for being here. So uh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, are you an avid reader? And what's your take on about reading books? Does that play a key role in making what you are today?
Absolutely. I think reading is amazing thing because when you read something, you are not only gaining knowledge, but you're also gaining perspective of an author who would have spent years researching that subject. So, I regularly read books for the simple reason to get more perspectives, because otherwise we will just be the person that we grew up to, but we can't be a better version of ourselves. So I think reading books is the thing that everyone should be doing.
Great. So very much in terms with Pick a Book then. Pick a Book's intention is all to make everyone a reader. So thank you for that. And how did your journey as a writer start in first place? So what was your inspiration?
Super. So my journey started, while I've been coaching clients, and even when I was working in companies, what I realized is that everyone keeps on talking about accountability and ownership, and
Hmm.
our employees, they should display more ownership, more accountability. And this was one thing which was always on my mind. This was something that I used to hear. But as they say, there's a right time and place for everything.
Hmm.
So I would really like to thank COVID, because when COVID came last year in April, The way what I and that's also thanks to the articles and books that other people had written before that. I realized that this might take some time, so I kept 3 months, April, May, June, focused around working on the book because I think better to use our energy constructively. So I, along with my co-author Paramjeet Singh, so we sat around and developed the book that is Accountability Clock,
Mhm.
and we wanted to have something which is India specific or Asia specific because a lot of our models and case studies are from outside India. But as
Mhm.
you know, a lot of my readers might be managers or leaders in the company. When they speak to their team members, they need to share examples which people can relate to, not some example in New York or something in Brazil. So this book is 85% case studies are most of the case studies are Indian.
Great. Great to know that, actually. So,
Yeah,
very much an Indian. Thank you.
absolutely.
Good. This crisis has given a very good opportunity in a way, because most of people most of us, the others which I've been interviewing with, they have been making very much use of this crisis, so that's a very positive thing to consider.
Yes, I think it's in the short term sometimes there is a human cost to it, but in the long term,
Mm.
I think it creates more opportunities.
Yes, true. So in every crisis, ladies and gentlemen, there lies an opportunity. And here is one example in front of us who has made use of this opportunity and came here before us to share his experiences through his wonderful book.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so what made you interested in writing this book, and why is it particularly titled as accountability clock? So what does it mean actually?
so accountability clock. So just to give a context, and I'll get deeper into it. Is so let me first answer your question and then we'll get deeper as the conversation goes. So the reason why we said accountability clock, and when we are looking at naming the book, it could have been accountability ladder or accountability bridge. But
Hmm.
what we realized is that accountability is not a destination to somewhere. And if you want to build a culture, it is more like a circular process. You observe something, you own something, you fix something, and as human beings, then you repeat. So it's a circular thing, and it's like you have to be on the treadmill constantly. You can't do one time and rest on your laurels.
Hmm.
So that's why we thought that okay, clock is a more representative name, and obviously the framework that we built around it is also circular, which is accountability clock, and that's how the name came.
Great, awesome. Okay, so okay, I want to know, or because that's a small introduction, a small talk about the author from himself. So let's now move on to learn a bit more about what's in there from the book. So yeah, so I want to know, what is the importance of accountability at workplace?
So I think to start with, if when you speak to organizations, accountability is the number one challenge that companies face globally, and and also to look at a simple way. If you look at anything we talk in companies, people who are in companies, large, medium, or small, whichever, wherever they are interacting or they have teams that they work with, what we see is that if you see any of the modern concepts like employee engagement or uh, quality or any transformation, accountability is the bedrock. So it is like when we were children, we used to play this jigsaw game. So if you remember, if we had to solve the jigsaw puzzle, uh, one of the ways is that we would pick up one piece, put it on the center or somewhere, and put the other pieces around it, like seeing the map and then put it. You played the jigsaw puzzle?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I think the readers or people who are watching also might have played it. So accountability is that centerpiece. So it's at the center of the jigsaw puzzle. So for people, it is. I think that is the main thing that accountability brings to the table. The importance in the workplace.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So without that centerpiece, we just can't, handle the remaining pieces. So
Yes.
that plays a very, very key role here.
And also, I think when we are doing accountability, if we don't
Mm,
have accountability culture at place,
mm,
uh, it is basically a gap between what the company is doing and what the company is capable of doing. And that's the cost of not having accountability culture. And and that's the reason we wrote the book, because so that we get this message across to people and
mm.
how to do it. And the central theme, when we wrote the book, we took it. So the book is divided into three sections.
Okay.
The society, and I'll tell you why the society. Then we
Mm,
have the framework, the accountability clock, and then we have bringing it all together. The society, we got it because I'll just use a Hindi expression. See, these
okay.
all these employees are people, whether who are working in any company, whichever size of the company be it, and the managers, they are coming from the society that they live in. And in our society, there is this phrase, "chalta hai." Have you heard about this?
Mm. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I think that is, and so it becomes very challenging for individuals to. So we are working in that. So in India, even accountability culture is even more important than maybe some of the Western countries. That's why we
Yeah.
wrote it.
Great. Very well said. So, what is that? You have mentioned that accountability. I mean, in your first question also, that's the most important part or the centerpiece of the jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
So, can you just elaborate a little bit on that? So,
Uh, so you would want to know how does it connect to the thing? Take the conversation
yes.
forward? Sure. So, if we look at it, normally when we look at accountability, we look at
Mm,
things like responsibility. Means I will make you accountable, which means that I will fix a blame on you. It's an
yeah.
excuse or other things. Yeah. But what we have mentioned in the book, what I've shared in the book is uh, that, see, there is a commitment that an individual brings to the table, and there are
Mm,
business results that a company delivers or a team delivers. Now, accountability is the glue that binds commitments to business results. So, and that is the need for accountability culture. Most of the times, what we confuse accountability is we confuse accountability with the responsibility.
mm, true.
True? You also agree?
Yes, very much.
And accountability means that when there's a lot of negative connotations with accountability. Uh,
Mm,
so what we have is, so here I would want to share with everyone what we've gone deeper is that take commitments. Okay, commitments are of two types. So one are tactical commitments, and second is relational commitments. Uh, and
mm,
tactical commitments is, I have this call scheduled at 7 o'clock, so I need to come prepared for this, or I need to submit a report to the manager, or I need to fulfill an order. These are tactical commitments. And relational commitments are the behaviors and the values that you bring. Now, the thing is that the tactical commitments normally are documented. Like, so there would be a mechanism. What is the expectation from you? Relational commitments are unspoken. And here I would just want to just speak a little slowly so everyone understands. Tactical commitments are commitments which are, you can say, uh, which which are on a day-to-day basis. Relational commitments are only, first is they are not documented, and then they come out when they are displayed by the actions that you do. So when do they come out? They come out in times of like the current times, say pandemic, COVID times. How have the team managers or the companies acted for their employees, for their customers? That is what
mm,
relational commitments show up. So
okay.
most of the managers, they focus on tactical commitments, but actually they
Mm,
should be focusing on uh,
relation.
relational commitments. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is that tactical commitments focus on productivity, which means you are supposed to do this or that and other things,
Mm,
while relational commitments focus on behaviors. And once we have the right behaviors, then
mm,
productivity and bottom line will come automatically.
yes. Perfect. Very well said. Okay, so when you're talking about the bottom line here, so
Yes.
how is accountability good for the bottom line?
How is accountability good for the bottom line? I think when there is a culture of accountability, and when we talk of accountability, I would just like to break it down into some different buckets, because for people to understand, so that it is not like a black box. It's not a big term that nobody can take action. So
Mm-hmm.
accountability, because if there is accountability culture, uh, number one thing that happens is you have clarity, because mediocre teams can't go too far, so you need to have clarity. Second thing that is there once you have an accountability is that there is a ownership by the team members and the business. So when there is ownership, more focus employees put on how we can take business forward rather than ascribing blames to each other. So obviously the company will move forward, and once the company moves forward, and when there's accountability culture, it also brings the ability to, it brings a trust, because accountability, when I said about tactical and relational commitments, when you have a relational commitment, then you are willing to build a trust in that company. So when there is trust, clarity, and companies moving forward, what it leads to is that there are employees are more engaged, and they are more confident about their future and the company's future. And once they are confident about both the things, one is they do well in the results that they provide. Second, they stay in the company longer. When they stay in the company longer and they're confident, generally innovation happens. And when innovation happens, because in pandemic and in today's time, everything is a commodity, right? Everyone is buying online. So you
Yeah.
need differentiated products and solutions. So you need
Mm.
a culture where employees are engaged. So by having this culture, accountability culture, you can get the employees to be confident and be in self and in the company.
Awesome. So there is a good link between all of these things. You very well put a link between them. So far as accountability is much considered as an individual thing. I mean, it's a perception that most of us think that accountability is more to do with an individual, just individual. So, but then, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very good connection of accountability in terms of the connecting the employees to the company as well. So that's where Sandeep Kaul says that the productivity of the company flourishes, and there is a great deal of trust that's established between the company and the workers and the employees. So that leads to a positive work environment, along with a confident workplace where you can hold on to the company for a long time, and a company can hold on to you for a long time. So that's great, awesome. So thank you. And how do we measure this? How do we measure? Can we measure? In fact,
Yes,
can we measure?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because I think if you don't get anything measured, how will you know the
mm,
progress? Right?
yeah,
And, so let me tell you what we have done is,
mm,
for people, one is that in the book itself, there are lot of assessments that that businesses and the managers and the team members can take for themselves and implement.
mm,
Separately, I also offer a coaching solution around it, where what we do is we break it into the things. So I'll just share one by one. The first is trust. Okay. All of this, we score it at the start and end, but why each one of them is important also and how they are connected. So we first
mm,
start with trust. Trust, by trust, I mean not trust in the sense about you trusting me, how I'll respond to this question that you asked, or reverse.
yep,
Not a basic level of trust,
yep,
but a trust which is based on openness and vulnerability. So, where you can come and tell me that this is possible, not possible, or I need to learn this. And same
mm,
with me also, where I can come to you or any of my colleagues. So once we have that trust, because trust is very paramount. It's like you go to a restaurant to eat a meal. So you obviously are going for great food, but once you go there and if the plate is not clean, obviously it
mm,
will stand out for you, would it?
yep,
So same way, I would say trust is that clean plate that you go to the restaurant for. You don't notice it, but it is a very primary hygiene factor. So we have trust. Once we have trust, second thing that we focus on is constructive conflict. Conflict, and when I mean by conflict is that
Mm.
if everyone in the company starts believing in one direction, then company can't progress. In the sense, when there are discussions, everyone is a yes man. So we need
Sure.
to have difference of opinions,
Mm.
at least at discussion stage. Now, we also measure, is there enough constructive conflict in the company or the teams that we are looking at building the culture?
Okay.
So why did I first start with trust and then went to constructive conflict is because if there is trust or openness, vulnerability based trust, and we have conflicts, okay, then it is like we are together as a team. There is a pursuit of truth or pursuit of success that we are going for. But if trust is
Mm.
missing and we have conflict, you know what happens in companies? It's called politics. So,
Mm.
without trust, but having conflict, you will get politics. So trust and conflict, constructive conflict, both have to be there. Then only company can move forward. So this is the second thing that we measure: trust, having constructive conflict within the team members. Then third is about commitment. What are the relational commitments in the team?
Mm.
Yeah. So that people are able to do what is beyond that, because what the company is doing is not what it is capable of doing. When they because when so we check the commitment level of the employees, because
Mm.
any person, if they are committed, see, one is that everyone is doing a job, so they will do a job to earn salary,
Yeah.
but there is a commitment. When somebody is committed, like you seem to be very committed to the cause of books. So when
Mm.
you're committed, you will go and even put your extra time and say, okay, let me see how we can pick a club, we can improve and other things. But if I'm just an employee, I will just say, Swarna, what's your requirement from me, and I'll help
Mm.
you. So we look at the employees' commitment levels. Okay.
Okay.
uh, and then comes accountability. So once there's commitment, and then we look at accountability, how we are keeping, because accountability is the glue that binds commitment to results. So we measure
Mm.
accountability level, and accountability level not only at the personal, because the accountability has to start first at from a leader. Like, I'm just trying to put simple language for everyone. If you
Yeah.
have a child, then first, if there's a problem with the child, school calls parent. No? They don't discuss with the child that you have this
Mm.
problem, it's a serious problem. So same way, the leader, accountability starts with the leader first, and
Mm.
then accountability starts with team,
Yeah.
because so accountability, sorry, second is with self, like I as a
Mm.
person, how accountable I am. And the third level of accountability is team accountability. Can I hold you accountable and you hold me accountable? And
Yeah.
because if we start holding, then we get into a territory of unsupervised leadership.
Mm.
So
Sure.
please ask questions if I'm not making
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, it's totally making sense.
Okay. And
Yes.
then comes the results, which
Yeah.
is the end product. So
Okay.
just to summarize, we start with trust,
Mm-hmm.
which is a openness. What is the level of openness or a vulnerability based trust? So people are open with each other.
Mm.
Second, we come to what is the level of constructive conflict in the teams, in the organization.
Okay.
And then comes the commitment part, the self commitment. Then comes accountability, both leader as well as team accountability. And then
Okay.
this translates into results. Now, these five things we measure where they are. So, I work with organizations typically between 6 to 12 months, and we
Oh.
measure, because that team may be good in some areas, not they might
Mm.
be not good
Mm-hmm.
in some areas, and this is measurement can be done, and so they know how the progress is happening. Uh,
Okay.
so
Great. So,
yes, to answer your question, we have a framework in place.
yes, that's good. I mean, I am actually hearing it for the first time. Like there is some organization that works on kind of these things. it's good to know that. So ladies and gentlemen, in anybody who is an entrepreneur here watching us live here, so I think there is something called yeah, an organization like this. What is the name of that?
So,
Your
so it's White Light Consulting. So
White.
I think anybody can just go on LinkedIn, just
Mm,
type my name and just write coach, and it will come. I think the first result would be there, mine. So happy to engage, and the reason is that everyone uses this word accountability and ownership, but there
mm,
is a reason why not a single book has been written in India till date, because it's a little complex topic. You need to break it down. Uh,
true, true,
so that everyone can understand.
exactly. So that's what even I have been putting my 2 years completely into this to understand what is this all about. But you explained it very well, as you said in a simple language, put it in a simple point. So that was truly awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what accountability stands for, and and that there is an organization that can help you to build a good, committed accountability. I mean, a team with good accountability attitude. So, thank
And
you so much. Huh.
and I think they can buy this book on. It's available on Amazon.
Yes,
So
so that's what I'm going to ask now. So, how can we get this book, this wonderful book?
So I think this is on
Account.
Amazon. This is
Mm,
available both in paperback and Kindle. So even for
okay.
audience who are in other countries, so in India it's available on paperback and Kindle. Kindle is
Mm,
global, but in other countries, if somebody's in US, UK, or other countries, you can also do a paperback print on demand in those countries from Amazon, and Kindle is everywhere. And it covers most of the things that we have spoken about.
mm.
Obviously, when you're doing a large transformational journey in a company, then they can definitely reach out, and I can explain how those 5 steps are measured and guide them.
Yeah. Yes, so that's it from our Sandeep, ladies and gentlemen. So any help, or you can just immediately grab this book from the Amazon, or if you're an online reader, you can get it from Kindle version of it. So you can, it's for entrepreneurs especially. This is very, very useful to build up a good, strong teams for increasing your productivity or your work culture. So thank you so much. And you can reach Mr. Sandeep Kaul on his LinkedIn account, and also you can email to him as S Kaul or SKAUL at consultwlc.com. I think this we can find this on
Yes.
LinkedIn page, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think also I want to tell, because a lot of the viewers might be entrepreneurs. So
Mm,
I am executive coach. I specialize in two specific things. So my belief is that people are clear on the goals. The only thing that stops them are two things. Either they are
mm,
not taking action, they are procrastinating, or they have self doubt.
yeah.
So, using the accountability framework, I also work with entrepreneurs one on one to coach them over 6 to 12 months so that they can impact themselves as well as their teams.
Great. So that's an icing on the cake as well. So
Yes.
so one to one is awesome. So any startups also can take his services, not just established I mean the businesses.
Absolutely. And I think if
Yeah.
they go to LinkedIn, just follow me there. I share the content regularly. There are a lot of testimonials and other things. We'll
Yeah.
not get into that here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandeep. It's because of this wonderful book we are here today. So discussing some beautiful inputs from the book, and thanks for your time to, and coming out here and sharing your experiences and knowledge with our Pickbook team and our lovely audience for watching us live.
Yeah, thanks, Swapna.
So
I mean, thanks for making it all possible. And I would also like to acknowledge everyone in the audience for being here and investing their time on this Friday evening. And also want to acknowledge everyone who would watch it on a replay later. That thanks for taking time out to watch it, whichever place or country you're watching from. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. And we absolutely love this book for what it holds for all of us, in terms of maintaining, having accountability clock in place. So
Yes.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from us today. I'm sure you all must have enjoyed as much as we enjoy discussing about accountability today, and with Mr. Kaul. And thank you so much for everybody in the room and for watching us live. And take care. Bye bye. See you all. And signing off, Swara, and see you all next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.